voice. I would write notes and publish it on social media, and I got a little bit of a following. Then one day I got a phone call from somebody in San Fernando named Joel D'Souza. And Joel told me that there was going to be a public meeting. I think it was either Canopia or Chima. I can't remember which, and I apologize. And I was invited to speak. So if you ever need somebody to blame why I stand up here today, blame Joel. Thank you, Joel. And I wanted to say something else. In the lead up to 2015 general election, we were invited here twice. And both of those experiences crystallized my desire to stay committed to this. When you talk as much as I talk, and you tilt at as many windmills as I do, you tend to get people who want to shut you up. And a young lady made me her project this week when she saw that we were coming to San Fernando. And she said, don't bring down people to South. Come South. Come speak about Mbakadere. Come and speak to them. And I wanted to answer, but it's not my place to say. I say it here. I have never heard of Mbakadere until 2015 general election, when Joel D'Souza made those people's plight a national concern. And I want to tell her thanks and give her a round of applause for that. And I want you to help me for raising the issue, because I would raise the issue and I would talk more for Peter Blab until Sealops, Rich Plain, Factory Road, Covey, Mason, at the litany, and I'd just rip them off. I didn't know about Mbakadere and the other places in San Fernando that had similar, if not worse, situations. So, to my detractors, haters, friends, as Ian took pains to say, it's not a one-man show, it's not a pyramid, it's a team. We're building out. And if I don't know about South, they have somebody on this team who does. If I don't know enough about women's issues, there are people on this team who do. If I don't know enough about youth issues, we have the fastest growing, most vibrant youth arm in politics in Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to tell the PNM and the UNC, copy us, you know. Don't wait for elections time to pretend that you have a youth arm. Our youth arm meets every Tuesday, and they meet for hours, and they are instructing us as to the world through their eyes. And we are empowering the youth to take control of this country. The time of the dinosaur politician refusing to give up and let other people get a chance is over. Over. The Progressive Empowerment Party is here. Now, that brings me to this. Somebody read PEP, read my initials, Philip Edward Alexander, and say Philip Edward Party. I'd answer that. Because I'm smelling wrongly on them in that. Mischief, misinformation, mission impossible. We have minutes, Ian told you. This is a party that is formed weeks ago that has already announced its first internal elections while it is building its membership base. So people yet to join have a vote in who becomes the political leadership and the executive of this party on 1 year from the date it was formed, January 17, 2018. I think that's something to be proud of. But to the Philip Edward Party, the minutes of the meeting will show, and there were a lot of meetings that formed this party. We didn't spit a seed in the ground and it grew. Again, Ian said it. Multiples of meetings, years of work. I had this vision for an organization called the People's National Congress. I was taking peoples from People's National Movement and Congress from the United National Congress, and well, both of them had national. Yes, we will, if we need to, we will do it in the dark. If we need to, we will do it in thank you. Apologies to those who are watching online for the live video. The team working on it, some technical difficulties. Listen to my voice, you don't need my face. I was strong for the People's National Congress as our party. That's the name I wanted, the PNC. It was written big on the whiteboard in the office with an umbrella. So the plan was we would merge red with yellow and we got orange. And we would call ourselves the People's National Congress. So people from both sides would be comfortable. And that's what I wanted. So for the people who think I want PEP because I'm a narcissist, that's not evidence of narcissism. I could give you other evidence, but that's not it. The reason it is the PEP is that even though I am the interim political leader and a very strong voice, my interim executive, of which I am a part, had a better opinion. And now we are the party that stands for progressive ideas of governance, and we will show that to be so every step of the way. In the manifesto that Ian spoke about, we advocate for issues that other politicians don't have a clue about. And they've been in government, in and out of government. Musical chairs in the parliament. Change and exchange since 1962. We bring in progressive ideas to the governance of Trinidad and Tobago. As we go, we will talk more about that. The word we want to touch on is empowerment. When we finish with whoever is in government, they will decentralize power to the people of Trinidad and Tobago by luck, by will, or by force. But they will put the power of government back in the hands of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, because that is our role in the politics. That is our role. We don't have to win. I don't need to, God hearing me, I don't necessarily desire to sit in the parliament and argue with jokers like Fitzgerald Hines, who's wake up in the morning, rub the yampy out the eye and say, what I want to talk about today? We're dealing with this every day. We're dealing with this every single day. Or you're talking about crime, you don't have a plan, you don't have a clue, you don't have a map, you don't have an idea. We do. We've been calling for the establishment of the maritime security wall. I tell the people who washing their mouth on the commissioner of police about crime, give your mouth a rest. He is not the only one responsible. The politicians that have spent $90 billion on national security for the past 15 years, but cannot account for what they spend it on, they're to blame. Not the commissioner. The commissioner of other things stands for. Mr. Commissioner, I know you're going to watch this. Hear what I'm telling you. You see that pile of firearm user license applications on your desk? Take a day, sort them out. Don't let them say that you are the reason corrupt police officers collecting charitable donations to grant FULs. Take in front. Mr. Commissioner of Police, the people of Trinidad and Tobago applauded you when you fired 3 people. Don't stop there. Can't just be those 3 responsible for the dysfunctionality of the TTPS. There are a couple others. We're looking for you to bust their throat too. Yes? Give the commissioner a round of applause. Encourage him. Commissioner Stephen Williams, you're on your 6th acting stint. Anybody else would have been very demoralized by now. I find, to me, I could, listen, I don't put my neck on a block for nobody. But Commissioner Williams, I've never heard a man name calling any slackness. And my ear to the ground. So if we have a commissioner of police, that the first thing I could say is he look honest, he look like he not corrupt, I feel I could trust him, I'm willing to work there and start from there, yes? Yes. So all of these political organizations that engaged in political machinations, that trying to put their men in office and their rubber stamps like the president, you ever see a country where every time a certain political party in power, there's attack office holders that they can't control? Remember Manning and his attorney general, how they were camping up the behind of the Chief Justice? You remember that? And I'm watching the same play, the same horses coming down the track. They're doing to the president now. PNM talking heads, PNM sycophants, PNM machinery of destruction will ignore 463 people dead and focus on the president's housing allowance and make that the national issue. And the compromised Express and the beholding Guardian will print that as their front page. while 200 of our women are missing, and nobody can answer for that. And if ever you needed a reason to fire the entire cabinet, this Friday gone here, I turned off my radio after I heard the answer from the Minister of National Security, where he grudgingly admitted that yes, we are reasonably sure 43 of our citizens have been trafficked. Now, what is trafficked? They've been captured, taken, and sold. They've been bundled, packaged, and shipped away like cargo. Dead somewhere as spare parts for the well-heeled and the wealthy who need liver and kidney and lungs, or servicing as concubines and prostitutes somewhere on this planet, or worse, all of us who can't put slavery out of mind. When you hear human trafficking, the number one purpose for human trafficking is modern day slavery. So if you think you want to keep fighting slavery alive today, go outside Edmund Dillon office with a placard and say, bring the slaves home. Bring them home. That's where we need to be. We have a reality to confront and resolve in this country, and that is the issue of crime as a symptom of mismanagement and corruption. This morning, a gentleman who I know from the business community told me that I was damn fast and out of place for calling out DOMA and the Chamber of Commerce for the nonsense of their call for a limited state of emergency. There is no such thing as a limited state of emergency. There's no such thing. That animal does not exist in law. There is no such thing. But even if there were, Mr. Aboud in the DOMA, what it stands for here? Downtown owners. But they own downtown. So the whole of downtown is a mall owned by Mr. Aboud and his friends. This is where he speaks from, that lofty perch. The Downtown Owners and Merchants Association that will go out of their way to mash the corn of vendors. They stand up in front of the store, but they don't mind Kiss Baking Company dropping vendors to stand up in front of small bakeries and drive them out of business, to squat on the nation's roads and pavements and illegally vend. DOMA and Chamber of Commerce are talking about that yet. So tell me, where do you, Gregory Aboud, get the moral authority to call for a limited state of emergency if you do not have the same care and consideration for every member of this country? You do not have it. You do not have that moral authority. I am wearing this shirt tonight. I hope you saw it before the lights went out. Are we getting the lights back at all? Possible? Our orange jersey, our logo, our umbrella, these things took a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of science, a lot of good minds, a lot of heated discussions, a lot of back and forth, until we ended up with our beautiful orange, bright orange jerseys sent to us from one of our members, Shelley Passad, who I would like also to give her a round of applause, please, because she insisted that we have these t-shirts for our opening, and she made that happen for our launch. But the reason I am wearing this t-shirt and not our beautiful and sexy PEP orange t-shirts is because everybody in this country tonight, here, at home, whining low in a party, you need to be at enough. We've had enough. There's been enough murder. We have a higher kill rate than Aleppo. We have more murder in this country than almost every other country on the planet. That is an indictment of failure. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we didn't vote for that. Anybody here happy with the murder rate? Anybody here happy with the kidnap and traffic rate? Anybody happy with the failure of the chairman of the National Security Council, the prime minister of the fishing depot in Caranage? Anybody happy with his silence on the issue of violent crime? Not one person. But you know what they do? They beat us down till we're so afraid to stand up. And when I look around at the people that building this party, all I see are brave, courageous, civic-minded patriots who are willing to risk the ire of those two obscene and cancerous monstrosities who sitting there calling me name, you know. They're marking we close. They unleash Rhoda Barrett and Marcia Brave Boy. I don't know where they come from. Out of the blue to attack me this week. They're two talking heads. You see, Rowley afraid to stand up and talk. Faris Al-Rawi was interviewed and he said, we will deal with crime on the nation's roads. So that means if you're getting murdered, try to make sure it's on a road. Don't get murdered in your house. Don't get murdered in a building. Don't get murdered in a shack after the B14 taxi that you jump into thinking that you're safe heading home. Take you down into a trace, rape and murder you. Don't get murdered there. Ask him, please, for the Attorney General to know about my crime. If you have to murder me, do it on pitch. That is the insanity of where we are today. Now we are talking solutions. I keep mentioning something called the Maritime Security Wall. We've been talking about the Maritime Security Wall long before Donald Trump and his insipidity of the Mexican Wall. So the only association is the word wall. But we're not calling for an actual wall, you know. We're calling for the use and repurposing of 6 offshore drilling platforms, which are right now parked up down the islands, paying a rent to unknown persons who are collecting money that we are not sure how much and what they're doing with it. And we need to ask those questions too. Come back to that. But take 6 of them, because I watched a documentary that said oil will never recover. And that offshore drilling platforms in construction now, being manufactured now, are coming off the production line to go straight to the scrapyard. They have no use for them. So we could take 6 of them, position them 3 miles out around Trinidad and Tobago, equip and outfit them to provide living and working accommodations for police, army, coast guard, immigration, customs. Offshore, 3 miles out, connected by our 360-degree radar that we pay for under Manning, Emperor Manning, remember him? When Emperor Manning bought it, we didn't know what he bought it for, and saying, let's use it for this. Because I hear it could peek into Brazil and Florida. So it could reach 3 miles out. And if it could reach 3 miles out, equip these platforms with fast interceptor boats and a helicopter landing pad, because we have helicopters flying all over the place. We know what they're doing. Let's use them for this. Let me tell you this. I don't know another country in the world where you tonight could take your multi-million-dollar yacht from Yacht Club, drive to Colombia, let them package cocaine bricks and drop it in your fuel cell. You know that? You ever hear that? So that when you bring it back to Trinidad, you park your multi-million-dollar yacht in Yacht Club. Nobody know that in your fuel tank is high-quality cocaine. And then when they go to service, the people who service in it put in that cocaine in bicycle frames and sending people riding out of Shagaramas in cocaine-loaded bicycles. You ever hear that? If If I know that, and the Minister of National Security don't know that, fire him. Stand up today and say, fire yourself. Tell the media, Philip Alexander say, they're riding cocaine-filled bicycles outside of Shagarama. So when your roadblock stopping car, bicycle going past bush full of cocaine. And they're exchanging the bike for an empty bike and riding back. Imagine that nonsense. But that's not just the people in your club. The fellow who rented tools in Port of Spain, he stopped me in the road. He said, how the hell you can bad talk the yacht club? My friend, no other country in the world. You could drive your yacht to wherever you want and come back and come off with your cooler and go home and put it in your car and nobody take a look in to see if you didn't bring back some submachine guns. We need to protect our borders. On the Trinidad and Tobago Yacht Club in Chagaramas and the Yachting Association and every one of these little boat yachting things that's springing up overnight, you must license them and put law enforcement personnel in them so that if you step off your boat with anything other than the clothes you're wearing, we must check. Because we don't know what you bring back. And to the outgoing ambassador from the United States, Mr. Estrada, people didn't understand why I tell him to slow your roll and hush your mouth. Because he tell our commissioner of police, fire yourself. But Mr. Estrada, they say born in Trinidad, but like he forget. The reason Trinidad and Tobago have a drug problem is because of Yankee demand and consumption. It's not for Trinidad. The cocaine and the guns that making our lives hell in Trinidad and Tobago is because of Yankee consumption. So Mr. Estrada, when you go back home, because I know they fire you, you want to talk about something, go and tell them, help Trinidad and Tobago. Get them $100 million. Let them build a maritime security wall. I use the analogy of if you have a mango tree bearing mangoes, pipers will jump your wall. So if you raise your fence and you put some razor wire, pipers will find another mango tree to jump their wall. Let us raise the wall around Trinidad, put some razor wire so Colombia and Mexico will find another island to ship their cocaine to America and leave Trinidad alone. That is what we need. And to all of those politicians who taking money from coke barons, can't talk about this. They're afraid. This is a country that in the past 5 years have shipped $600 and $400 million worth of cocaine to Canada and Virginia respectively. Had $600 million worth of cocaine intercepted on Bonas Island. We found almost $1 billion in cocaine in the body of a yacht that was manufactured or repaired in Trinidad in Chagaramas. Nobody in law enforcement talking about that. But the little spranger that was caught in 51 degrees trying to thief a pack of cigarettes, his face all over the news. Funny, eh? Trinidad and Tobago, wake up, you know. Start to ask them. Write them. Call Rowley. Call Kamala. All of you talking now. Call Foley. I see Foley writing. Stephen Cadiz. All of a sudden. Remember when Stephen Cadiz was in office? Quiet. When man come out at all. Now every day he point out a heartbreaking tearjerk when you was in office, friend. Why didn't stand up in the cabinet and in the parliament and say, this is not what they vote for? The people didn't put us here for this. When you're in the people's parliament, you have a responsibility to deal with the issues affecting lives. Every murder that takes place in this country is being committed by guns, illegal guns, coming into this country, driving up any river, onto any beach, because there's nobody to stop them. And say, let me check and see what you have inside there with the carrot and the kingfish. In case you have some cocaine, some guns. This is our reality. And we need to call on these people now to build the maritime security wall and protect our borders. If they build the maritime security wall, you all get tired of me saying this, you know. No longer will any vehicle, no pleasure craft, no marine craft, no fishing boat will be able to leave Trinidad's waters and come back in unexamined. That's the start of ending Trinidad and Tobago as a narco state. You all want that? You see, for the crime to go away, the guns have to go away. If you don't make the guns go away, but you're cussing the commissioner of police, but guns coming in the country like sea blast, we fooling. We're cussing the commissioner, but we not helping the commissioner do his job. You, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, information empowers you. Social media has put an end to Hamid Ghani and Selwyn Ryan telling you what to think and how to think it. You could now tell them. Because by the time CNC3 and Guardian and Express and TV6 put out the news, you don't talk about it 24 hours ago. You don't know. They can't tell you how to decide what to think. So now it is time for the tail to stop wagging the dog. Now it's time for you to tell the people in Parliament, this is why you are there. You came to me for a job. You said to me that you can do this job. I hired you by my vote. And by this finger I put you in office. I have another finger I could take you out with. We need to be there. So on the 17th of February, the next event from here, we are gathering on Independence Square at noon. Take your lunch hour, take the afternoon off, take the day off. Trinidad is important. Come and add your bodies to us, your voice. Stand with us. Let us amass 25,000 people on Independence Square on the 17th, because we are going to the Parliament to serve them with 4 principles of good governance. Demands that they pass it into law, or we will go to the court and demand of the court that it tell the Parliament, do your job. So tell everybody, come out and join us on February 17th, Friday at noon. 41 letters are going to be served on the Parliament. We need you there. What is going to be in those letters, among other things, is a demand for the right of recall. What that means is, when the people of Laventille West vote for Fitzgerald Hines on promises that Fitzgerald Hines made to them on the campaign trail, if 18 months have passed and Fitzgerald Hines has not delivered, those same people should have a right to fire him. Yes? And hire somebody else to do the job. To the people who say, well, I fire one and this one and that one, let me tell you something. I'll tell a man today, and he is a very lettered professional. As I could bet you money, the first 3 relationships you ever had in life didn't work out. And that didn't stop you looking for a 4th one. At least have the love of country to romance it like you're romancing your private life. You know, stand for the country. If the PNM, and this is what we did, in 1986, Ian, if any of my dates wrong, correct man. In 1986, we fired the PNM. It took everybody in this country to fire the PNM. It took everybody coming together to fire the PNM. And we put a party in power called the National Alliance for Reconstruction that wasn't part of the secret society, bandits who corrupt people who run the country. And when they couldn't get their way with that party, they sent terrorists in the tail, burn down the city, kill police, kill a member of Parliament. You remember the names? Remember that? That was the name? Yeah. They shoot the sentry in front of the police station and blow it up. Police headquarters. Remember that? They assassinated Selwyn Richardson. Remember that? They didn't leave a footprint. That is what went on in this country. You know? All of that so that the People's National Movement will come back into power. And then the People's National Movement come back into power and do nonsense. So we put the UNC and they do nonsense. We put the PNM, they do nonsense. We put the UNC. Nonsense after nonsense. That's what we've been dealing with. Any anymore. Ian said, I keep quoting him. None of us want this job. People ask me, why you don't join the PNM or the UNC and fix them from inside? Not even God could fix them two parties. You can't fix it from on top, from below, from outside, from inside. Those two parties belong to organizations that you never see. They answer to shareholders. You remember when Manning was summoned to Goodwood Park and fired? And we had no choice. People who washed them out on the Congress of the People. Congress of the People deserve some stick for some mistakes. But I want you to also account for this. The Congress of the People, by their selfless act, saved this country from Emperor Manning. Because if the Congress of the People did not join with we did not trust the United National Congress, we did not. But we had two choices. A man that beaten we till we dead, or somebody we know will betray, but we might survive that. But for now, we at least had a save with life. Because Emperor Manning was going to make the Red House his personal office, remember that? Emperor Manning was test driving jets. Emperor Manning, remember that? You would have had an executive president that would have had overarching power over the parliament and the cabinet, where he would have been dictating to you how you live your lives. Do you know that that is what the Congress of the People saved us from? So regardless of what happened after with the nonsense of the People's Partnership, who gave their heart and soul again to the people who came to rob and rape and pillage, we dodged a bullet then. Then we had to turn to the same PNM to save us from the UNC, because they come into power and try to do the same nonsense. Kamala write a law called runoff. Remember that? To consolidate power. And I want to again say, Congress of the People stood against that. So that party that went into history, because it's history now, let us remember it properly. Right now, there is nothing standing between us and the hell of the PNM and the UNC. So we have to build it. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have a responsibility to our democracy. Because either fix this place if you plan to grow old here, if you plan to raise your children here, fix it. Or pack up and leave. Because what's going on now, firing the PNM and putting the UNC back, not going to solve it. Be very, very clear about that. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have a responsibility to stand up and save this country. And to all of you who could have been whining low in a carnival party tonight, I want to say, give yourselves a round of applause. You are civic-minded patriots. For all the people who are standing up, who are writing me, messaging me, WhatsApping me, telling me, Phil, we're supporting you from behind the scenes. I appreciate that. But look at this, what we're building. Come and add yourself to this. Because behind the scenes, they're fixing it. Send a message to the government and the opposition that we have had enough. Thank you very much.